What if I told you that your temple, mutt, trust, or even you could lose land you've been owning for decades despite your name being recorded in government records? Sounds impossible, right? The Supreme Court of India has just delivered a judgment that shatters one of the biggest myths surrounding land ownership in this country. Your name in revenue records does not make you the owner. This ruling came in Panchavatige Mutt Togarsi versus Gram Panchayati Togarsi, decided on January 15, 2026. Let's break this down. The case involved a religious mutt in Karnataka claiming ownership over 15 acres and 14 guntas of agricultural land. The mutt argued that it had been in possession for years. Its administrator's name appeared in revenue records. Land revenue was paid regularly. Even a court-appointed commissioner reported possession in its favor. On paper, everything looked solid, but the courts weren't convinced. The trial court dismissed the suit. The Karnataka High Court upheld that dismissal. And finally, the Supreme Court shut the door completely. Why? Because the entire claim of ownership was based only on revenue entries. And the Supreme Court was blunt, almost brutal in its clarity. The bench of Justices Sanjay Karol and Satish Chandra Sharma held that revenue records are maintained for fiscal purposes, not to decide ownership. Mutation entries, RTCs, payment of land tax, none of these documents create title. Let that sink in. The court said, and I quote in substance, there can be no dispute that entries in revenue records cannot form the basis of a claim over title of any property. This is a new law. But what's shocking is how often this mistake is still made. The Supreme Court relied on a long line of precedents. Balwant Singh, Suraj Bhan, and Bhimbhai Mahadev Kambekar, all of which consistently say one thing: revenue records may show possession or cultivation, but ownership requires legally admissible title documents. Even the commissioner's report showing possession didn't help the mutt. Why? Because possession without title does not convert into ownership unless supported by law. And here's where the judgment becomes truly explosive. Across India, thousands of temples, mutts, waqfs, trusts, and even private individuals are sitting on land based on oral grants, historical possession, or old revenue entries. This judgment sends a loud and clear warning that foundation is legally fragile. The court made it clear that religious institutions are not being targeted. They can own land, but they must prove ownership the same way anyone else must through grants, sale deeds, lawful transfers, or title documents. Faith, history, and tradition may carry emotional weight, but in a court of law, documents matter more than belief. In the end, the Supreme Court refused to interfere and dismissed the civil appeal, reinforcing a principle every landholder in India must understand. If your ownership story begins and ends with revenue records, your land is legally at risk. This judgment isn't just about one mutt in Karnataka. It's a warning siren for the entire country.